Melissa and Rachel, three of our high school students that went on our week-long CIY Move trip. And I'm just going to ask them a couple questions about our week so they can kind of share some of the things God is doing through them and through our high school ministry. So first of all, I kind of just want to know, what is CIY Move?
CIY Move is a 5-day trip to wherever they have it, wherever we decide to go. But you honestly get really close to Jesus, you get really close to your youth group, and it kind of breaks down all that you need to understand to get closer to God.
Okay. What specifically was this year's event about?
This year's event, well, it was about, so there's a different theme each night. The first night was Kingdom Workers Are Loved. The second night was Kingdom Workers Are Rescued. The third night was We Are United, and We Are Changed, and then we are sent to go off and be Kingdom Workers.
Okay. And what exactly is a Kingdom Worker?
Kingdom worker is someone who uses their abilities and talents to show and do things for God and His kingdom. But to be a kingdom worker, you have to be already in God's kingdom.
Okay. Now we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of it. So what exactly this week impacted or challenged you personally?
This past school year for sophomore year was really some place where it's like I kind of went downhill in God, and it was like kind of like, I lost Him a little bit. And one of the services was like, okay, they connected it to the Titanic, saying, oh, SOS, Morse code. And I was like, oh, I can really relate to that. And a lot of people took it as, oh, if you're not connected to Jesus, this is a way we can connect to God. But I took it as, hey, I need to reconnect myself to God. I got really emotional about it, and I went to one of my leaders, Bree York, and I was like, hey, can you go up there with me? I don't want to go alone. So I went up there with her, and I reconnected myself to God and stuff like that. Yeah.
At CIY, it was really hard to find out what to do and where I was supposed to be. There were a lot of things like the SOS, you could go up there, and they asked people to come up at the end of the songs and everything to pray with. And it just didn't really connect for me. But they also had a prayer wall off to the side, and it really interested me, so I went up there with a few of my friends, and we just saw just how God trusted us, and the people trusted God to write their prayers and their needs up there, and to trust us, the students, to pray for them. And there were so many heartfelt things that I just didn't even know needed praying for, and I was shocked that people had the courage enough to write up there, and at the end I took some down and I prayed. It was really heartfelt and we cried. I would say what I was personally challenged with this year is really opening up with like people in my youth group and just telling them what's going on in my life. This is what I'm upset about, this is what I'm struggling with. And just over the course of the week, we became united, just like the third night's theme was. And there was this one night, and I know this is AJ's one of her favorite part of the week. Not only did we become connected with our youth group, but during worship, we're like, guys, let's hold hands. Like, this is serious now. Like, this is getting really emotional. And we start to hold hands, and like everybody's like deep in this worship. Like, eyes are closed, hearts are touched, but then AJ's like, Rachel, look up, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm trying to sing the song. And I look, and there are like 20, maybe 30 people all holding hands. Like, not only are you here, 20 more people. And we're like, wow, this is God's love. This is us all being united here. And yeah.
Awesome. What would you say to somebody who might be here who's also in high school but has been nervous about signing up for this trip? Like, how would you encourage them to do this next year?
I would say don't even think about it. Sign up when you can. And don't be worried about bringing one of your friends so you don't be alone, you don't have to sit alone. Because I guarantee you on the 3-hour, this year was 9 hours, car ride to get there, you will automatically become our best friend. We have jam sessions in the car. It's horrible.
Safely, of course. Good. Any other additional thoughts that you might have?
We would just like to thank those who financially supported us. We really appreciate it, and all those prayers that you guys gave us. Last week was an amazing week, and we got there safely and all that stuff. And it was just an amazing week. This was my 3rd year going, and I cannot wait to go next year. So
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you ladies very much.